Hi, and welcome to this screencast where I will be going over a brief selection tool demonstration within Photopea. So over on the left-hand side on the toolbar, you can see the selection tools. There is a rectangular select, ellipsis select, and lasso select, polygonal lasso select, and magnetic lasso select that we will be going over today. A selection defines a set of pixels, and then those that are selected can be edited by other tools within Photopea. So sometimes you'll want to select all of the pixels in a picture, which you can do by pressing Control A on your keyboard. You can see that the dotted line appears around the entire image, indicating that the entire image is selected. I can then deselect by pressing Control D on my keyboard. That deselects and takes that selection off. If I would like to use the menu bar, you can go up to the select menu in the menu bar, select all. You can deselect your selection here as well. So the selection tools are for selecting just part of an image. So our rectangular selection will be for just having a rectangular part of that image. And I can use that and I can press delete on my keyboard, and that allows me to edit what's inside of that selection. My ellipsis tool is the same thing. I can use it and drag out an ellipsis or a circle, and I can delete part of the image or edit part of the image that's in that selection. I'm pressing Control D on my keyboard to deselect. Now let's demonstrate the lasso select tool. This tool is a freehand tool that allows me to draw a selection. So I'm going to draw around that corner, connect it at the ends, press delete on my keyboard, and see how I've edited inside of that selection. I'm going to press Control D on my keyboard. Now I'm going to show you the polygonal lasso select tool. This uses lines and anchor points to create a selection. So when I click, I can draw a line, and I can draw other lines with other anchor points. So I can click down the stem with lines. I can draw over here. I continue to use straight lines to aid in my selection. I'm going to come back to the beginning when I'm done with my shape. I can create any shape out of lines. I can then do anything I want inside of the selection. I can draw inside of it, but you can see the drawing doesn't extend out towards anything that's not selected. I'm going to hit delete on my keyboard and delete everything inside of my selection. And then I'm going to hit Control D to deselect. Now I'm going to show you the last selection tool that I want to demonstrate today is the magnetic lasso tool. This tool guesses where the edges are that you might want to select. And I can add manual anchor points, but it also guesses anchor points. Watch as I demonstrate. I click to start the selection, and then as I kind of draw, I'm hovering my cursor over the edge of the apple. It starts guessing where anchor points might be, where there might be that edge that I want. I'm going to click and add a manual anchor point right there. And then I'm going to decide that that's enough selection for me. I'm going to just add some more anchor points to go around because I want to delete that side. And so I've hit delete on my keyboard and Control D to deselect. So a common selection problem that I see often is that there will be a background layer. So let me add a new layer and demonstrate this for you. I'm going to just have a background layer, and let's just click and make the background layer red. So let's say then I've got my ellipsis select tool, and or what about the polygonal lasso tool again? And I start to cut out around the stem of my apple with this polygonal lasso tool, and I'll go around and I've got this nice shape and it looks great. All right, now I'm going to hit delete on my keyboard. Okay, I hit it. What happened? I don't see anything. Look over in the layers palette. I had the wrong layer selected. I was on the background layer and I hit delete on my keyboard. The selection is only on the layer that you have selected over in the layers palette. So if I turned off my apple layer, I can see that I deleted part of the background layer instead of the apple. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back in my history. I want to keep my lasso select, but I want to be on the background layer where the apple is and not layer 1 where the red is. So now I'm going to hit delete on my keyboard and you can see that it cleared on the right layer. So that's a common problem that I see with selection. Always make sure that you're on the right layer when you're editing a selection, and that should solve a lot of your selection problems. One last thing to demonstrate is the role of the Shift key in the ellipsis selection tool or the rectangular selection tool. I've got my ellipsis select right now. If I hold down Shift while I use it, I can create a perfect circle. And if I hold down Shift while I use the rectangular select, I can create a perfect square. So if I don't hold it down, I can make any sort of rectangular or elliptical shape that I'd like, but if I hold down Shift while I do it, it makes a perfect square, a perfect circle.